As far as trying to understand God's ways, yes, I concur absolutely. We see whenever tragedy strikes, whether it was when Aaron lost his sons in the Bible and the Torah, whether it was when the 10 martyrs were being massacred by the Roman emperor that we read about in Yom Kippur, the response has always been that God didn't go into any theological or philosophical explanations. The response was shtika, vayidem Aaron, silence. Because, as you said accurately, this is the mystery, the domain of life and death that only God understands. And frankly, as the Belzer Rebbe once said, the old Belzer Rebbe said, that even if God wanted to explain to me why the Holocaust happened, I wouldn't want to hear. Like, how exactly are we going to explain? Like, we're going to explain to a mother that lost a child, and here we have 1.5 million innocent children in the Holocaust, and here these thousands souls. We're going to find an explanation that would make it perhaps even more painful. So, what we do, we stand in humble recognition and awe, even that there's a mystery going on that we do not understand. However, that silence should not be seen as weakness or as passivity. It's actually a recognition of the truth of the pain of this world. And Jews, the secret to Jewish survival from the beginning of time, that no empire, no people have ever mastered, not the Egyptian Empire, and not the Babylonian Empire, not the Roman Empire, not the Ottomans, the Spanish Empire, the Assyrians, the Greeks, and so on, is that in addition to ability to look in the face of pain and suffering, we did not shrink away. We did not cower in fear. You know why? Because we have something stronger than answers. We have strength. We have faith. We have faith. And when you have deep faith to God, and you believe in good with more passion than our enemies believe in evil, we will always prevail. And that's what's been the case. 3,500 years ago, you could say scientists would have been skeptical. It sounds all good on paper. It's very poetic. But now we have 3,500 years behind us. And we're here. Am Yisrael Chai. And despite the pain that we're all seeing and the pain we're experiencing, let us not forget, we are an eternal nation because we're connected to eternity, to Hashem. When you see the unprecedented unity in Israel, where just a week ago, there was divisiveness and all that was going on, which I don't even want to discuss now, is unbelievable. Mika Amchi Yisrael Goyechad Baaretz. Who's a nation like the Jewish nation? I was in California during Simchas Torah when the news came that morning. You were in the Upper West Side, clearly. Shuls everywhere. What did we do? We didn't go and run to our psychiatrists or therapists. We danced with tears, maybe. We danced with shock, but we continue to forge ahead with fortitude. So our answer to the big question, the why, is, as the Rebbe mentioned, the Rebbe would say, we don't ask why, we ask what are we going to do about it. That's the answer of a proactive, healthy person. We're not victims. As much as we've suffered, we're not sufferers. We will never let our enemies define us, and our identities are not defined by our pain. Our identities are defined by the fact that God created us. Tzelem Elokim, Ata v'chatanu. We were chosen, and we should be proud that we brought to the world civilization and the virtues. There's a medrash that says that had the non-Jews, do the non-Jews know what kind of blessings and what kind of gifts the Jewish people bring to them, Jerusalem brings to them, the Holy Temple brings to them. Instead of attacking it, they would surround it with legions. That's the medrash. And protect it. We just come from Sukkot where we prayed for the 70 nations.
Right.
And that's the irony here, that the very people that benefit this dark golus, not only don't they realize where their blessings come from, but they actually attack it. So we cry for that. But we are not going to turn the other cheek, because we are strong today, and thank God. Mistakes were made, but we look forward to absolutely avenging the blood. But more than that, eradicating any threat and any evil, and no one should have any doubt in our resolve. Our hearts may be broken, but our resolve is not. We saw what happened 80 years ago, how the world was silent. And we have to be careful not to start trying to answer and try PR just to look good in the nation, because when they start, maybe a week or two, they'll have mercy on us. And then what happens? We have to be resolute. But our ultimate goal. We're not warriors. We don't want war. We don't want blood. I just heard something really powerful. I thought it's good to share. You know, if they put down their arms, our enemies, what would happen? There'd be immediate peace. If they actually put it down, I'm talking about in a serious way. If the Jews put down their arms, I don't want to even say what would happen. We'd be annihilated. That tells you the whole story. Anyone that ever had this ambiguous issues of right and wrong and good and evil, we knew at some point, yes, America took time for America to acknowledge that who the Nazis were. But once we knew it, the moral certitude, the moral fortitude, the moral certainty. You see that what's going on here. You know, any country would probably have already carpet bombed the whole Gaza. What would happen if Mexico entered into Texas and did something like that? I mean, everyone knows what would happen. So again, it reminds me of what a Jew said to a Nazi who was about to kill him. And he asked the Nazi if he could say his final prayers. And he started whispering. And the Nazi said, "What are you saying?" He says, the Jew told him, I'm thanking God. He says, "What are you thanking God for? Where's your God? You're at my mercy, you miserable Jew." You know what the Jew answered? The Jew said to him, "I'm thanking God that he did not create me like you."
Right.
You know, so I say with proud, as a proud Jew, yes, this is a stab in the heart. You killed our own brothers and sisters, our family members. You've killed a part of all of us, but we don't die. What we will do is dig deeper, and we'll be even better people.
Sure.
And after vanquishing our enemies, we will continue to perpetuate what we believe in: good, love, virtue, tzedakah, chesed, and that is, in a sum, what I learned from my Rebbe, from my great Rebbe, when he addressed the Yom Kippur War, the 6-day war. It always turned into that. One more point I want to make is that in addition to the military part of the war, is the spiritual part of the war, the mitzvahs we do when we stand united. Avdus Avos Yisrael. Number 2, putting on tefillin for men and boys after bar mitzvah has a zgula. The pasuk says, "V'ro kolami aretz v'yaru memeka."
That's right.
And we saw that during those wars. They thought it was a weapon, and it is a weapon.
Right.
The lulav and the esrog and the dal minim are also considered spiritual weapons.
Right.
Lighting candles for every woman and Jewish girl, which brings light into the world. Mitzvah like mezuzah, which brings shmira, shemer dalsis Yisrael. So wherever we are in the world, we're not bystanders. Whoever you are, you need to be proactive. You need to stand up. Just as the soldiers are marching early dawn, we should be waking up early, learning more Torah, more mitzvahs, more achdus, more ava, anything, because that also contributes to the battle. And with that, I sum up a lot of what I learned from the Rebbe, a true leader. In these times, as we all know, they say that Jewish people are like tea bag. You don't know how strong they are until you put them into hot water.